Okay. Welcome to the Black Scholars Academy YouTube channel with the Women's Initiatives and Association with the Black American Council. We got some new people with us today, and we're going to go around the room and introduce ourselves. I'm Christopher.
How you doing? My name is Calvin.
Joshua.
My name is Johnny.
Dante Mason.
My name is Steven.
Jasmine.
Limited edition, Jabril Collins.
For the first topic, I took a survey, and basically, if somebody committed aggravated murder, which should they get? Treatment, prison, death penalty, or just the death penalty? On the survey, treatment, prison got 15, the death penalty got 4, and prison got 1. And we're going to go around the room and we're going to say our opinion on this survey and the death penalty in general, prison and treatment. Should I start?
You want to start?
Okay. I definitely agree with treatment prison over the death penalty. For one, death penalty just costs us too much. Once you put people through the system and then they have a chance to appeal, they could be sitting in prison for 20 years before they even get sentenced to death. If you take that into account with the way the criminal justice system works, it's just unnecessary money that we have to spend, and truthfully, we don't have it to spend. And I think the death penalty contradicts itself time and time again. You can't say don't kill people, and then as a system, we go out and kill the person that committed a crime. I get it. Back in the day, we used to do an eye for an eye, but times change, and you got to look at a more liberal way of thinking.
Yeah. In the millennium generation, we have to look at it in a very different way. First, like he mentioned, like Chris mentioned, the death penalty costs us a lot of money. When you look at appeals and everything that can be filed, a man could be sitting in prison for a long time. But when you just lock him up and put him away, it's no longer a problem. Look at Charles Manson. Died a couple years ago in prison. After he was gone, we didn't have to think about it. That's one of my things. Like when you look at accounts, like I have a list of all types of things. Let's look at accounts when the death penalty actually was not carried out properly. We take it back to Columbia, South Carolina in 1944 when we had George Stinney Jr., who was a 12-year-old child, roughly under 100 pounds, who was accused of murdering 2 young Caucasian women. When you look at this instance, these women were a lot heavier. These girls were a lot heavier than he was at 12 years old and about 85 pounds. But he was sentenced to death as a child in a state that the death penalty was a lot older than it. And you look at it, we have a lot of accidents. We have a lot of things that happen where some young men or some young women even are being sent up the road before any type of chance to have a constructive life. It's a major investment in juvenile detention. And you have a lot of juveniles in Ohio. You could be 13 to be sentenced as an adult. These are facts that really show that it's so much easier to try and rehabilitate a mind. Because if I'm going to sit you in a cell for 50 years, I might as well try and give you some type of help while you're in there. That's pretty much my point on it.
Anybody else?
We're talking about treatment, prison versus the death sentence. I would personally prefer treatment prison over the death. I don't think anyone pretty much deserves death unless, I don't know, you really out there. Most of these crimes are committed as a reaction of something. So like you could have somebody who go commit a murder, more likely they're committing that murder because they're defending a relative or a spouse or something of that nature. Nobody just openly just goes out and just kill people. Unless one of these school shootings, like they're doing mass murder, stuff like that. Those people, I prefer have a tougher penalty versus the average American who commits a crime. Like I said, most of them are in defense of certain things, and I think putting somebody in jail for life, which is 25 years plus depending on the sentence, I think that's sufficient enough time because, you know, over time our minds change and our minds change often. Like I could be right here right now and say I'm going for I want this, and then 2 weeks later I'm for this. So I don't think anybody should be maxed out and get the death sentence unless they actually kill multiple people in the same instance.
I've got something to say. I absolutely think that the death penalty is exceptional and should be used for aggravated murder because of the fact that when you have someone who sits down and plans on killing another individual and then takes that out, that's not like a murder within self-defense or a murder by accident or a murder that just happens to go about because of some random reason, something that has been planned out and thought about very thoughtfully. And I think you have a real mental issue if you think it's acceptable to plan someone's killing and then go out and kill them and think that you don't deserve to be killed. That's how I see it.
I mean, but you have to understand, in one instance, we're saying that if you go out here and you commit a murder, you're wrong. But then the other, we're saying that if we sign a piece of paper, because I'm no more man than the next man, but this man, because of the office he has, can sign a piece of paper that says, yes, he deserves to be murdered. And when he signs that piece of paper, now I must go sit in a cell. And you have to understand all the appeals and stuff. Now, it's a lot of men that are hard working out here providing for their family. You understand that this is taken out of their tax money. This tax money is going to be taken anyway. But how about instead of investing it into these, as I'm going to put it, no good people, as you put it, that want to go out here and commit these murders, let's invest it in maybe a school. Let's invest it in maybe some playgrounds. You know how many empty lots we see are streets in Cleveland, the East Cleveland area. All of these streets are looking like an imperfect smile. There's all types of gaps. There's big gaps in the middle of these where we could put a house, we could put a court, we could put a playground. There could be something constructively used for this money. And we understand that, first of all, a lot of things go off of the fact that it's harder as a African American man with the sentences that we face. For instance, it's so much easier for a black man to be sent up the road before his counterparts of other races. And when you look at things like that, like the best way I put it is like being black is like an ex-girlfriend with a house key and she crazy. You're not getting rid of it. It's not going nowhere anytime soon. And when you put it like that, it's understood that you're going to face all types of battles trying to live a proper life when every time you open the door, you see these same elements that you've just been trying to accumulate accolades to get rid of. At the end of the day, you're going to be black for the rest of your life. You're going to be black for the rest of your life. But it's so much harder to get proper treatment after. When you look at people like Bill Cosby, like OJ was acquitted. The glove did not fit, they acquitted him, but for some reason, in everybody's eyes, he's a household murderer. If we look at him, his image has changed. He's not the juice no more, he's the juice with the knife. And that's the problem we all face.
Okay, well, as far as being black then, you're 100% right, but being black doesn't justify anyone killing someone and then all of a sudden should get a lighter sentence. If you kill someone, you kill someone, and that's that. Black, white, red, purple, yellow, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. Like, it's a crime. At the end of the day, it's a crime and it shouldn't have been committed. And as far as rehabilitation, when was the last time that we've actually seen quote-unquote rehabilitation actually work? Like, you sit someone in some counseling and think that their mental illness is going to go away, like a pedophile. Oh, let me just take you to a rehabilitation center and talk you out of liking children. Like, that doesn't work. It does not work that way. That person has a mental problem, and certain people should not be on this earth anymore because you're not going to stop them. And when you let them out, they're going to continue to do what they do. And that's what that is.
Yeah, but that's also, we gotta also look at it like they just need help. It's the decisions they do. You know, they have to be responsible. They have to be responsibility to take that responsibility. That's
Yeah,
all.
but you have to want help in order to get help.
That's true. And they
If you don't want help, then you're not going to get help no matter what you do to them.
We have to shed a different light on this. First of all, you look at, as an African American man, I grew up in many different parts of the inner city. Look at the inner city. First of all, when I go outside, I see a lot more black people. And in the inner city, even as a person that grew up in the inner city, I have a hypersensitivity with the people around me. A guy looks at me the wrong way, is he about to try something when I leave out this store? And you have to understand. So that's one of the things you look at. My hypersensitivity is always on. You don't see a lot of people in the neighborhoods I grew up in walking around with headphones in. They're not really aware of their surroundings. You got your headphones in, your music ain't on max. It's on very close to mute. And my point with that being that, so yes, I'm not justifying murders, but a lot of murderers, you put me in a place where if you look at it, you don't see a way out. You see a guy that goes to college, it looks funny though. Like we all remember the movie How High. Why is it funny that we sent 2 black men to Harvard? Because they don't think we could do this. So in our minds, we put ourselves in a certain type of urban institutionalized. And when we do this, we end up finding our ways that, okay, I gotta eat. Listen, the check coming the 1st. It's the 15th. I'm hungry again. I gotta eat. So I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna beg, I'm gonna borrow, and I'm gonna steal by any means necessary. So maybe it's the chance that you need help, but we cannot always. We're damned if we do, damned if we don't. If we sit here and we take the money and say, you know what, we're gonna execute him, we're gonna kill this guy, we end up wasting multiple millions of dollars because he's gonna take it from the judge that sentenced him, the magistrate that sentenced him, to his judge, to Supreme Court level if he has to before he ends up taking that lethal injection. No man is gonna die willingly. If any one of us in this room got locked in a cage with a lion, we ain't just gonna lay there and let the lion maul us. We're not taking death willingly. So these guys are going to appeal. When you look at the amount of money we spend, it's far greater to kill you than just let you rot. Because if you were sick, you crave people interaction. That's a psychological thing. Sociopaths even crave, they crave to play with people. They like to, it's the craziness that you feed off the energy to mess with people. So when you do this, you sit there and you'll play, but when I lock you in a cell for 23 hours a day by yourself, the only time you get to leave out is go take a shower, and that's it. Oh, well, who do you play with? You're in there by yourself with your own demons. I'd rather put you by yourself with your own demons than to have to spend all this money waiting for us to expunge the demon that is you.
Okay, I have something to say. But you said as far as like the black community, how you have to steal this, that, and the other to get simply food, and that's simply not true. There's so many opportunities to earn money. There's Minutemen shops that people can go to on a daily basis, get up in the morning, work all day, and earn your money instead of sit on the street corner and ask for someone else's car to earn money. So it's not a justification for committing crime. I don't care how hungry you are. People work hard every day, and everyone has that same opportunity. I don't care where you live. On top of that, that's not the same as committing an aggravated murder. Aggravated murder is someone who's a psychopath, sits down and has some type of resentment to another individual and plans out the killing of this person.
No, wait, that's premeditated. Premeditated is to go further and think of a way to go about it. Aggravated murder is if I were to yell at you or something, and then you were to take the heaviest thing next to you and hit me upside the head out of spite, that would be aggravated murder.
Aggravated falls playing into to a certain degree. Aggravated.
There's different types of aggravated
murder. But either way, aggravated is still planned out, and there's no reason you should be sitting in a room planning out the killing of someone. You ought to be killed. If you kill that person, you need to be killed.
All right, I have something in response to you saying something about psychology and you talking about Minutemen. I'm 25 years old. I've been through numerous temp agencies. Minutemen do not work at all how you think it works. You just hop up and just go to a job. It does not work that way.
It takes months before you get your
It takes a while before they actually put you on to a job. And if they do right out the gate put you in a job, it's going to be a job that pays very minimum. And you're like, I want something better. So it's going to revert back to okay, I still have kids to see, I still have bills to pay, so I still need to find another way to make more money. Now, as far as psychology, there is this book I read that I think every African-American individual should read, and it's called Kill 'Em Before They Grow. And it's by Michael Porter. It's literally about 100 pages, about $10 on Amazon. And pretty much in there he's talking about the psychology of how, I hate to say this, but it's a proven fact the system was created to be 100% against the African-American individual. From the get-go, correct. Now, if you look at these mental problems, a lot of these mental problems didn't come about until not that long ago. We didn't have this many mental problems in the beginning of time. And these just came about to help create other jobs for higher individuals or people who preferred race. And it's not, as much people try to say it, there is not a balance between Caucasian, African American, and any other race. We live in a white supremacist, white dominant country. White dominant country. So regardless of what the African American do right now, all we can do is fight for balance. But at this current moment, we would never be more than a Would never be more than, second class to
Caucasian.
Caucasian, or whatever race you want to put us behind. So with African Americans going out to be a certain type of way, and this book, it argues as to why they're this way right now. If you look at the stats, there's more African American students with behavior disabilities or mental disabilities as opposed to a learning disability that's where they were class A Caucasian. Behavior and learning, it takes 2 different time frames to recover from. So if you have a behavior problem, they're going to keep referring to different psychiatric people who are going to keep giving you the complete runaround as opposed to a learning disability. Say, okay, we're just going to slow your speed up a little bit and you can still succeed in life.
Okay. Now, as a psych major, I want to point out one thing. When you look at a lot of these disabilities now, a lot of them come from Medicaid, Paramount Advantage, and all of these other insurances that in order for me to get paid as a psychologist like I want to be, I have to be able to bill you, which means I have to be able to diagnose you. So I could be just a hyperactive kid. I might need a prescription of a Mentor or a basketball instead of a prescription of Adderall. But they'll give this to me because at the end of the day, if I work an 8-hour day and I'm doing a 5, and not to mention the ADHD test has went from 5 hours to almost an hour and 30 minutes. I've heard, which means you're trying to cram 5 hours of information to me in an hour and a half. That's illogical. There's no way I could do that. Anybody's ADHD if you're trying to do that. Everybody. Another thing I want to point out is when you look at it, you have to look at it through a glass half full, half empty. It's not going to work. You have to look at these young black men. First of all, we're in these communities where we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You see, I see it when I look outside. You look on the news. I hear this guy got shot, this guy got shot, this guy got shot. Oh, puppy video. This guy got shot. Somebody I don't know hit the lock. At the end of the day, that man's rich now. A couple of them guys are dead, and that puppy is on YouTube. None of that just helped him. We talk about all these programs, like I was lucky. I found programs that got me sent to Yellowstone. I found programs that got me to produce music.
So there is programs that will help you.
There are, but you have to be in a benefactor to help you have to be in a position.
You have to go for it.
You have to go for it. And guess what? If I'm going to a school like JFK, John Adams, all of this, when we're talking, it's 1,000+ students. What makes my one voice any more heard? Because you have to understand, a lot of things is, it's a fear of access to help amongst us African Americans, amongst us Asiatic brothers. There's a fear of